He doesn't come across as being somebody that's presidential. He's a businessman. He's an in-the-gutter guy, and that's what people like about him.
Donald Trump said as president, he'd be really good for women. So I wanted to find out if that's true. I met with a former executive vice president of the Trump Organization, one of Trump's top women, Barbara Ress. I took my chase to Old Tappan, New Jersey, met her at her home.
He liked me. I spoke up, and I was one woman with all these men, and I was able to hold my own, and he impressed him and his wife, Ivana.
Barbara was hired by Trump to build the Trump Tower and later on to renovate the iconic landmark in New York City, the Plaza Hotel.
When he liked me, he used to call me B-Ress and Honey Bunch. When he didn't like me so much, he didn't call me names, but he yelled at me a lot.
I asked her about the environment that she was working in. She said that the problem was not so much the architects and engineers and Trump that she was working with, it was more the construction workers themselves.
It was some character that was drawing pictures of me and Ivana on the stairwell walls. And, you know, he would draw these spread eagle pictures and say, this is Barbara, this is Ivana, or Ivana wants it, or Barbara wants it, you know, that kind of thing. So I got a hold of a laborer and I got him a can of paint, and I said, every time a picture shows up, you just paint over it. That's all. Just paint over it and it's gone. And it was after a while. We just made the guy totally irrelevant.
Did you ever find out who it was?
No, I didn't care.
Yeah.
It was some jerk.
And Ivana Trump, who was married to Trump at the time, was not immune from that.
She was not happy with it. She didn't like it. But I told her I was handling it.
I asked Barbara what it was like when she got her premiere in the press. She was featured in the Daily News with the headline, "Building is her Trump card."
I think that maybe he contained some of the requests, you know, because I was unusual at the time, and people were interested.
But he has to be the star, is that right? There's no room for two?
Well, I think that he promoted it to an extent and then didn't want it to be, you know, too much.
She wrote a memoir, which is very personal, talking about her journey and what it was like. And she said that she painted Trump in that book as being larger than life. She thought Trump would like it. But
I ran into him at a funeral. He didn't even talk to me. He talked to someone I was with, and he said, you know, she wrote a piece of garbage, a book. It's the worst.
This is always going to be an issue for him. He's written too many biographies and said too many controversial things about women that people can just nitpick and pull out of the past and hit him with. He's going to have to deal with this for the rest of his life.
You're talking to her, it sounds like the takeaway, it almost ends up more positive.
Barbara Ress's takeaway, having worked with Trump, is that, you know, he's very respectful of your work, but that relationship can go sour like that.